Hi everyone, my name is Anna Jamir. I'm a Neurographica instructor and aesthetic coach. So today we are going to look at the pyramid of consciousness. Here we have it. So before we go deeper into Neurographica as a method, let's look at what's really happening inside us when we draw, because it's not just lines, shapes, and colors, it's our consciousness expressing itself through the line. And to understand that, we need a clean map, and that's the pyramid of consciousness. The pyramid of consciousness illustrates the design of the human being's deep consciousness. Some ideas in this model are fundamentally different from the usual analytical or philosophical schools, and that's totally okay. It's a practical map built for transformation. US created or mapped out somewhere around 30 years ago by Pavel Piskarev, the creator of Neurographica. That's why you might not see this model in other schools, etc. Although it's like 30 years old, it's still fairly new. Okay, so here's the core truth. Only by going through all the layers, doing the right inner work at each one, do we start creating at a higher level and actually gain the ability to influence events in our life and the world. So the pyramid also shows us where our limitations live. And there are different ones on different levels. Those limitations block access to our potential. So let's take a closer look at the pyramid. You can actually follow along and draw with me and take some notes. We need to draw a pyramid. I did here vertically. You can do it vertically, but to better see everything that's going on what we have on the page, I will do it horizontally. Okay, so we need a pyramid. So then we need to divide this pyramid in half. Then those halves in other halves. And each one of these areas in half again. So we are going to have 8 layers. Okay, so we need to separate and make this one bigger, this one bigger, and this one bigger, like thicker. And we will see why we do that in a second. Okay. So, you know how Neurographica connects the consciousness and the unconsciousness? How one line can shift how you feel and how you think almost instantly? Well, the pyramid explains why that happens. It's like a map of your inner world, showing all the layers of who you really are. From your daily thoughts, what we have here, all the way to connection to the absolute that we have down here. So, okay, and once you see this map clearly, you realize, oh, my stress, my patterns, my I can't moments, they are not random at all. They are simply points of tensions between these layers. And if we learn how to move through them, everything starts to flow again, and we will be able to process all of those things. Okay, so let's start with the first level. The first level is called actual consciousness. I will write here actual consciousness. Yes. Actual consciousness. It's the surface where most of us live 90% of the time. This is the here and now moment. So we can do it like this. It's the here and now moment, or what Pavel Piskarev calls actual consciousness. It's where you'll experience life, what you see, feel, hear, touch right now. Like you sitting here listening to me, maybe thinking about your day or what you'll have for dinner after this. That's the level of attention and energy we have access to at this exact moment. And when we're fully present, that energy feels alive. We are creative, clear, effective. We feel like I am here, I am in it. But when our attention gets scattered to the past worries, when we go deeper here, to the past worries, to the phone notifications, we lose that power. No energy, no focus, no here and now. And there are no real problems on this level. There is only you and the quality of your attention. Everything else comes from deep down. So when you're fully present here, you just like are in this moment here and now, and you do not pay attention or worry about all the other things that happen deep down there. So yeah, this is the here and now moment. Then on this part of the pyramid, we have the second layer, which is operational consciousness. No, Think of it as your RAM, your working memory. It stores all the information you can access instantly. Your name, your address, how to drive a car, how to brush your teeth, how to multiply 7 by 8, hopefully. It's your autopilot system. Everything you already know and can do without thinking. But here's where the first limitation starts showing up. Everything that doesn't fit inside your current operational system feels impossible. Like psychologists call this the 7 plus minus 2 principle, meaning that at any given time, the conscious mind can hold only about 7 pieces of information, give or take 2. That's all the bandwidth our active attention has. Once the limit has reached, uh, the brain starts dropping or simplifying things to stay functional. So, when you are learning something new, a language, a skill, or a new way of thinking, your system literally needs to expand its RAM. That's why change feels uncomfortable at first. It's like your brain saying, "Hold on, this doesn't fit in my memory yet. There is no space for it." So when someone says, "I can't," it's usually not true that they cannot do it. It just means it's not in my operational memory just yet. And this is where Neurographica helps so beautifully. Every time we draw, we are building new neural connections, recognizing information, and creating new pathways. That's what actually happened to me. Now I do way more work than I used to, and but I just like have more capacity to work with it and hold it. So yeah, it's like I was able to expand my RAM, my working memory. Okay, so this level, just a second to find my, okay, I have it here. So this level, it's your active brain. This is what is happening right now on like the surface, active brain. And this is your conscious mind, this side of undo this. This is conscious. This is our conscious mind. this is our active brain. So studies, well, it's hard to actually like go by studies. It's really hard to measure this, but it's usually says that it's from 6 to 9%. So yeah, like, but it's really hard to put an exact number to it. Okay, so this is our consciousness. Now, as we go deeper, deeper on through the pyramid, you might even see that association of the iceberg, that you have a conscious mind here, and everything that's going on in your brain that you don't usually have access to is the subconscious mind. So here is the active part of the brain, and here is the subconscious mind. So here we have subconscious mind. And it has two levels. We have the individual subconscious level, individual subconscious level, and the collective subconscious level. Collective subconscious level. So usually when we talk about the pyramid and when we divide things in 7 in the institute, we use the chakras color 7, like, or the rainbow color to showcase these levels. So actual consciousness is the first level with red. You can follow along on the color as well. Here and now is total awareness and presence, and you will see why we color it with yellow in a second, or like when we go deeper. Okay, the operational consciousness corresponds to the second level, and it's this is orange. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. We have here the active part of our brain, the conscious mind, that has two levels, the actual consciousness and the moment of here and now, and the operational consciousness level. This is our RAM. Now, the next part is we start going deeper into our subconscious mind that has two levels, individual subconscious level and collective subconscious level. So here we start leaving the thinking mind and entering the territory of the individual subconscious level. So individual subconscious level. Subconscious. Okay, subconscious. Didn't spell it rightly, but it's all right. So this is where your personal history lives. Not the history you remember with words, but the one your body remembers. Everything, every sensory sensation, impressions, every small moment of joy or even pain, it's all stored here. Think of it as the vast inner library where your nervous system has been keeping detailed notes since the very beginning. From the moment of your conceptions through your birth, your first year, and all the way to the last week. Every experience that has or that had an emotional charge leaves an imprint here. Maybe you don't remember all the details, but your body does. Well, for example, that tension in your shoulders before a meeting, or that sudden heaviness when someone raises their voice. Those are echoes from the subconscious mind. And the fascinating part is that the subconscious doesn't judge. It doesn't say this is good, this is bad. It simply records and replays patterns. So here we enter the pattern territory until we bring them into the awareness and create new responses. So that's basically what we do while drawing Neurographica. We bring it to the conscious mind and rewire it. In everyday life, this layer drives more of your decision than you might actually think. You might not call it maybe you might call it intuition or a gut feeling, but really it is the sum of everything your body has learned about safety, love. It decides how close you let people get, how you handle risk, and even how you react to success. That's why in our drawings, we don't fight what comes up. We actually invite it. We soften it through rounding corners, through movement, through color, until that memory or like until that emotion finds peace and flow again, until it's integrated. If you think about it, every stress pattern of you have to, today or like you've developed, it was your body's response and your body's way to protect you. It's just that's some of those old protective settings are still running, and we actually don't need them anymore. But they were created once, and they are still here, and like our body doesn't know that we don't need it. So like on an individual subconscious mind, we subconscious level, we do not know, or like we haven't upgraded the script yet to tell our body that it's okay to start moving on. We don't need it anymore. You thank you for creating it back then. It was necessary. Now it's good, and it's time to let it go. So this is the individual subconscious level, and this part of the pyramid has the individual unconscious level. Individual unconscious. Unconscious level. So if we follow the color scheme we have, it's yellow, and the individual unconscious level is green. Mhm. So if the individual subconscious level is part of you that remember this life like emotions, sensations, the body memories, the individual unconscious goes one layer even deeper. This is your inner archive, the place where your core programs live. It holds not only your experience from this lifetime, but also the deeper imprints, your instinctive drives, your inherited tendencies, even echoes of lessons from long before you were born, mainly like the past life experiences and the memories, what you came with into this world. Okay, so here things don't move linearly. They actually do work more in a spiral. That's why certain themes in life repeat, even when you think you already dealt with them. The same kind of patterns, the same kind of struggles with money or health keep coming back. And it's not actually not all like heavy or like stress and like bad things here, this layer also holds your gifts. Hidden talents, intuitive knowing, flashes of creativity. These rise from the same depth. So, when we draw Neurographica and the line starts moving effortlessly, that's this level speaking. It's not your logical mind anymore. So, we left the logical mind here. This is deeper wisdom of your system guiding the process. Sometimes emotions or sensations emerge that feel ancient or unfamiliar, and that's okay. Just keep breathing, keep drawing, and let the energy integrate. The individual unconscious is where your deepest transformation begins. And when we go through the how is this all connected to the basic algorithm, you will see why. Okay, so yeah, here we rewire old pattern and it's the dormant potential waking up. Okay, so we are still in the subconscious level, as this is on the individual subconscious level. Now let's go to the collective subconscious level. Okay, so this is a very interesting threshold. We are getting to the egregors. Egregor. Okay, this might sound a bit mystical and like you might not understand what's this. You might hear this word for the first time. But once you understand it, you'll realize that you actually interact with egregores every single day of your life. So, okay, uh, let me read the definition of an egregor. An egregor is kind of collective field of consciousness, a shared energetic and psychological atmosphere that forms when people come together with common thoughts, emotions, and intentions. So it can be like an egregor can be a family, religion, culture, a company, a nation, even an online community. So, for example, the egregor of Neurographica has more than 10 million people. There are more than 10 million people drawing Neurographica uh, all over the world. And an egregor to be formed needs minimum 10, it needs minimum 3 people. So if you have a group of friends that are 3 of them, then you have created your egregor. Okay. Also, an egregor is a living platform, a non-physical autonomous entity created and sustained by the beliefs, emotions, and actions of a group. The more energy people feed into it, the stronger it becomes, shaping how the group thinks, feels, and behaves. So, do we like it or we don't like it? We are interacting with egregores all the time. They are all around us, our families, our community, the country we live in, and so on. So, yeah, we are influenced by the egregores, and we influence the egregor. Okay, so after the egregores, we are moving deeper on the subconscious collective level, and that is myths, archetypes, archetypes. Okay, okay, so let me read you the definition of the archetypes by Carl Jung. So it is a primitive mental image inherited from the earliest human ancestors and supposed to be present in all collective unconsciousness. So you might see some of these like ideas of conscious, unconscious, subconscious levels, and that like Carl Jung put together this theory. So that's why it has a lot to do with that, but it was a bit structured a bit differently by not differently, but it was structured and put together in a easier form to consume by Pavel Piskarev. Okay, so we here is the level of myths and archetypes. And we have a more darker shade of blue here. Okay, but when we talk about archetypes, we typically refer to a certain person or thing that has a typical example. For example, like if egregores are a collective energy of a specific group, and then the archetypes is the universal pattern of the human psyche. So we have archetypes like the hero. For example, the hero in different countries is perceived the same everywhere. We have the archetype of the mother. Well, even not only humans perceive everything. Like when you talk about the mother, you understand this is a nurturing person caring about like her child, her cub. We also see this in the animal kingdom. We also have a healer, the rebel, and so on. So, for example, a tree is perceived by somebody in North America, Asia as a tree. We also know that we all know that it has the roots, the trunk, the crown of the tree. So we all perceive it the same in different parts of the world. So we, on a subconscious level, collectively have certain types of archetypes, and this is that level. Okay, so we have the conscious level that has our active brain. We have the subconscious level that has our individual subconscious level and collective subconscious level. And now we go deeper into the unconscious level. Okay, so this is the unconscious part of our brain. It is quite hard to access it like actively or like easily. It's like we need training or specific ways to access this, and it's like quite challenging to do that or just randomly on a regular Tuesday. Okay, so this also is called, or like this also represents the level of self. These, as I was saying, these terms, a lot of these terms, a lot of these ideas, you could find in the Carl Jung theory, but not only. This is a pyramid. This is a concept that combines more ideas and more like philosophies and schools. So this is the level of self. If I'm not mistaken, please don't quote me on this, but I think the the idea of self was first mentioned by Carl Jung. So yeah. Okay, so this level is elements. Elements. And it's represented by the color purple or magenta, depending how we want, what kind of shade we want to use. Okay, so now we reached the level of elements. It's the bridge between the human and divine. And to understand why why this is that, actually, let me put down the name of the level, of the last level of our pyramid, which is the absolute God. This is universal mind, self-mind, presence, the divinity, the divine source. Okay, so this represents unity. This is a boundless field of life, but we can't really access it. We can't really in the here and now, or even the actual consciousness level. We cannot really perceive it or understand it. And in order for us to feel closer to God, or to understand it, or to see it, to perceive it, it divides into elements, into all kinds of principles, particles, so we as humans can perceive it. We can have these divisions being we can divide it into threes, fours, fives, sevens, 12s, and others, but these are the most common ones, like 3, 4, 5, 7. We have 7 levels of usually when in Neurographica we have 7 levels of a pyramid, and the 8th one is God drive, and 7 colors. For 3 we have the God, Son, and Holy Spirit. 4 we have the the north. What do you have? We have north, south, west, east. We have spring, summer, fall, and winter, and so on. For the 5, which we actually use a lot in Neurographica, in Neurocolor, it is the 5 elements from Wu Seed. We have the elements of wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. So the idea of this level is to divide the absolute, the God, the universe, into certain particles, of a particle of existence, so we can perceive them in our mind. And the 8th level, the absolute, this is unity, it cannot be divided. This is God. This is the source, present. This is where everything starts and where everything returns, the source of all energy, awareness, and love. The name we use it for this level doesn't matter too much, because they all represent the same thing in different cultures, in different religions. And in this level, as I was saying previously, there are no divisions, there are no me or you. This is where all opposite ideas dissolve, and where is only like one unity, where is a one vast presence. Actually, this is a moment where we can rarely touch in our experience as humans. It's a sacred moment when everything seems to stop, when beauty takes your breath away, when you completely feel safe, seen, and whole. If you are fully present and have these kind of moments, you are living it here in the moment of here and now. But as I was saying, this is quite rare. You need to get to a particular level of awareness and like consciousness to be able to touch more often this level. So in different religions, we have this idea that like we all have the seed of God or like a part of God in us, and this is like represented here in this model. Okay, so let's do a quick recap of what we have here and about like on the pyramid of consciousness. So we have our conscious, subconscious, and unconscious part of our brain. The conscious mind, or like the active brain, is the actual consciousness, what is happening at the moment, and the moment of here and now. Then we also have the operational consciousness. This is our RAM. Then we go down to the subconscious mind, which is the individual subconscious level and the collective subconscious level. On the individual subconscious level, we have individual subconscious and individual unconscious. So basically, this is more what like happened in our current life from the moment of conception. But here is more the gifts and inherited things that you come to this world. This could be your past lives and past experiences and things you come into this world beyond like just like what happened here on Earth. Then we move down to the collective subconscious level that we have, where we have the egregors. So these are groups that we interact with on a daily basis, and we are influenced by them, and we influence them. And then we also have the myths, the archetypes level. These are collective ideas that we like perceive, subscribe to them on a collective subconscious level. And then we go deeper and we have the unconscious level. This is the level of self. This is where we have the absolute, the source, the God that gave us life, that brought us, gave us, like, yeah, basically gave us life, and its division, its particles, elements, to be when we start breaking down into elements that we can perceive, we can work and operate with, and most in Neurographica, we mostly use the the fifth elements, and also we actually use a lot of division in four. So yeah, and we also have the division in three and so on. So these are broken like divisions of the absolute of God, so we can perceive it. So this is the pyramid of consciousness. And now I was saying that we should look how is this connected to the basic algorithm. When we start our process in Neurographica, we start on the we start with the topic 1.0. So the first step is topic 1.0. This is where we do the activation of the topic. The most common one that we do is the 20 words in 2 minutes, but there are many forms of activating the topic, and this happens in our active brain. So it happens on the actual consciousness and operational consciousness. Then we go deeper. We go deeper to the next level, and we start drawing the composition. So two, we have composition. So this level actually, or like this step of a basic algorithm, happens on both on the operational consciousness and in the individual subconscious. So when we draw the composition, we actually touch both a bit of the individual subconscious level when we let ourselves to be guided and going by the feeling of what kind of figures do we need here in this topic, but we actually do the composition on the conscious level when we intentionally draw certain figures for change. So this happens on both levels, on the operational consciousness and individual subconscious level. When we do the catharsis, we let it come from the individual subconscious, like everything that bothers us, everything that is like been stored and needs to be released. Then the third step of the basic algorithm is conjoining. Joining, well, how we usually say it is rounding. So conjoining is happening on the individual unconscious level. So yeah, here we go deeper. Each rounding connects what we used to be separated with, and we create new neural connections. We go and work with our inner conflicts and start dissolving them. This is where transformation becomes psychological, new circuits, new states, new possibilities. So we go even deeper on the individual unconscious level, and we start working on that particular problem and bring unity, show graphically that the solution is the solution is possible. Here it is. We are smoothing out those conflicts. Okay, after the conjoining, we have the fourth step of the basic algorithm, which is integration. And it is divided into shape and background, and that starts happening on the egregores level. So as I was saying, egregores, we influence them and they influence us. Do we like it or we don't like it? And after we created our composition, we start integrating it with what is happening in like our surrounding world. We do not live in a vacuum. We are always interacting with one thing or the other or with something. So this is where we integrate these solutions, these new ideas we put onto paper so far. So they have a place and they work on our society level, because we are not living individually, we are always interacting with someone. So our solution also has to have to be integrated in society on this level. Then when we go deeper, when we go to the second part of the integration process, which is archetyping. Archetyping. We are starting to touch the myths and the archetype level. We are starting to work with color and symbols. Every color carries an archetypal quality. When we color consciously, we awake and integrate those patterns. So we have for example, here we have the 7 colors of chakras with the rainbow that we usually represent. So all these colors carry a particular archetype, myth, perception we collectively subscribe to. Okay, Then, and actually, yes, the archetyping level actually touches a bit of of the elements as well, because we work with 5 elements, and all 5 elements have like their corresponding colors and the way they interact. That is a completely different system, the Usin system. And if you know a bit about it, you might understand and know the colors and how do they interact, what they represent, and so on. So archetyping, we on the archetyping level, when we integrate with the help of color, we also touch a bit of this element. Then the next step of basic algorithm is field lines. Field lines. So they unite the whole drawing. They are like the elements of nature, the principle that connect everything. This step represents the movement of energy through the entire system, the flow between all parts of the compositions, all levels of the psyche. So as we were talking about that, this like the elements are particles of God. So when we draw like particles of God. I don't think that is correct to say, but it's uh, these are the broken down elements for our consciousness to um, like to be able to perceive them. So when we draw the field lines, we have the confirmation of the absolute, the divinity on our drawing. Okay, and the next step of our basic algorithm is the figure of fixation, or as the correct name is fixing. A fixing. So the figure of fixation or affixing consolidates the new state. Here, the energy of the absolute integrates into the present moment. This is where transformation stabilizes. You see clearly the resolution, the peace, the direction. So the psyche recognizes the new pattern as mine. We like claim it. We say that this is where we are going. And the seventh step of basic algorithm is style, or like stylization. Stylization. Okay, so it's when the consciousness begins to descend again into the present, into our daily life, and this stylization happens on all the levels. And we come back to the present. We might go ahead and add the shadows and things, or like lines rounding more on the figure of fixation, the field lines, and maybe adding more color. So we are descending back to the present moment, to here and now. And when we reach when we reach the 8th point of the algorithm, we do the exercise 20 words in 2 minutes again, and we come back to the actual consciousness, to the active part of the brain. So the 8th step is topic 2.0. Here we reflect so here we reflect on what's happening, how the process went, what new ideas we gain after we did this work. We went through all the levels of our consciousness and came back to this moment. How our things, how things changed, how our perception changed, what new ideas came to us, what kind of insights we started having when we started going deeper and deeper and deeper through all these like parts of our subconscious mind. So here you have it, the pyramid of consciousness. I am going also to attach like a PDF to help you with all these new terms. It is like quite like I would say like it's still new and uh, like lots of new things to go through, new terms. So it's always good to have like a small PDF with you to see it visually what we have here, how it looks, and just to go through it again. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, if you understood it, how it went for you, and yeah, I will see you in the next videos. Thank you.